My name is Joyce Mwangi. I'm mother to Lakita. Lakita is a cancer survivor for 5 years from 2017.
My name is Lakita Frida. I'm 17 years old. I love arts and crafts and crocheting.
My name is Lisa Tamara. I'm 19 years old, a student at the University of Nairobi, studying psychology. I'm a cousin to Lakita Frida.
I'm Victoria Nzioka, and I'm a psychologist by profession. I studied from Pwan University.
My name is Beryl. I am the Crafts for Cure coordinator.
I was diagnosed in 2017. At that time, I was 10 years old. I was in class 5. And I remember I was doing track, like sports, and my leg was hurting, and I was taken to the hospital, and that's when I was firstly diagnosed.
When Lakita was 10 years old, for a period of about, let's say 6 months, not every day, she would complain of knee pain after sports. We would I would give painkillers or rub an ointment and the pain would go. But there is this one night that the pain was too much. In the morning, the pain went on. So I decided, let's go to the hospital. When they did a scan, they said there was like they saw like a tumor on her leg, but they were now to do a biopsy to check the tumor, if it was a tumor or infection. But once they said they saw like it was a tumor, because I had an experience with the dad who had passed on to colon cancer, I knew there was something. Immediately I thought it could be cancer. So I didn't even go for the biopsy. I immediately planned and traveled to India with her. That's where they did the biopsy and she was diagnosed with osteosarcoma. It's very painful for me to think now she was to undergo through cancer treatment. Yeah, thinking of her as a child, I even told God, why her? I wish it was even me, because I saw the pain the father went through. So it was very painful. It stressed me a lot. But I had to be strong at the same time for her. So I didn't like make it look like it was something big to her.
The cancer came back again in 2020 during COVID, and there I got a bone marrow transplant. Then I went into remission again. Then I was re-diagnosed again in 2022, and I also got a bone marrow transplant again. And now I'm in remission again.
The first time we went through chemo for almost 18 months. Now thinking of her going back to chemo was too tough. In fact, sometimes she would tell me, "Mom, I don't want to do chemo. It's too much on me." But now I would tell her, it's what the doctors have said. Let's just follow what they say and you'll be okay. But it was very tough for us. After the recurrence of osteo, there is a time she had myelodysplastic anemia, which is a form of blood cancer. So we had to go again through treatment. She would lose her hair again. And now the doctor advised we were to go through transplant again. The cost of transplant is too expensive. And we didn't even have money then. It was during COVID. We were in India. So traveling back was a problem. So we had to struggle, but we managed to raise funds when we were still there. But it was a big challenge. Were it not for people who supported us, I don't know where we would be. I faced a lot of challenges being a caregiver to her, and at the same time being the one to pay the bills. It was very tough for me, because she has gone through treatment, chemotherapy, surgeries, and transplant twice. Transplant is very expensive, chemo is expensive, so it's been an expensive affair, and also tough to see a child go through chemo, through a lot of pain. It's been tough for me, but now I had to be strong for her, being her mother. Yeah.
Time they'd come back from India, I'd get time to go to their place for sleepovers. And at this point, she'd tell me of her stories from India. And that's why I'd give her an ear to listen and a shoulder to lean on. And at this point, I wouldn't say I was young at that time, so I wouldn't comprehend everything that was happening or understand it fully. But at the age I'm at right now, I can say that for her, at that time, she was going through a lot of psychological traumas and pressures and stress.
Crafts for Cure is a program that runs at Kenyatta National Hospital. This program began in 2011 to help the children cope with the long hospital stays. We do art, music and diversional therapy just to help the children demystify everything that comes with cancer.
And at that point also, I got to see the financial struggles that they underwent, being that she has undergone chemotherapy sessions, surgeries and her transplant. I remember we used to do fundraisers, being that I'd see my grandparents talking that they're raising money for her, and being that they also used social media at that point where she'd broadcast what she's going through, and we got to raise funds.
A time came when we needed money for surgery and then for transplant, which is very expensive. So we struggled a lot, and we had to do a fundraiser on media, on social media, and many people came through for us.
I ran to social media, but I know that multiple children who can't just go to social media for help because they don't have access. But I did, and that's why I'm here today, because of maybe one or two of your parents who were able to fundraise for me. And I also underwent a lot of psychological torment, because I didn't really understand what was happening to me, and when I understood it, I was going into teenagehood. So being a teenager and going through things like losing my hair, amputation, it was just very much, and I didn't get the therapy that was required.
It was very tough. The first time she went through chemo, when she lost her hair, she had very long, beautiful hair. It was very painful for her, but I could talk to her and tell her, your hair will grow back. And then now going through treatment, a lot of vomiting, not eating, losing weight, skin problems, but we managed to cope. I think I was her strength then. I would talk to her and encourage her and tell her, now that you're still alive, we keep fighting. Having gone through cancer, I thought she was the best person now to fundraise for other kids. It's something she has wanted to do to help other kids with cancer. She knows the challenges. She has seen me struggle to raise funds, so she understands that cancer treatment is expensive, and she wanted to help other children who are going through the same. So when she came with the Faraja form, I told her, we talked about it, and she told me she will now talk to other students at school so that they take it seriously and fundraise for Faraja.
I am actually volunteering at Faraja Cancer Support Trust, and I started almost 2 months ago, rather more than 2 months ago, and it has been very fulfilling. And the reason for me to, volunteer here is because I lost my brother through cancer. So I feel like doing this voluntary work, it will be serving, rather it will be honoring my late brother. When it came to his treatment, it was really expensive and financially draining, and also emotionally draining for the family. But all in all, we were together with him until the last minute. and we are grateful to God for the time we had with him.
I attended a conference in Mombasa and I saw them there, but I didn't really interact much with them. But then they came to our school and my teacher talked to me about it, and I thought it was best I talk about it in assemblies to spread more awareness about what Faraja does. I raised around 100,000 personally. I talked to family and friends, and I talk to people who have experienced cancer like firsthand, people who know what goes on, because they're most likely going to donate other than people who don't know what's going on in the cancer world. Children nowadays are desensitized, like they'll just hear about something and they won't think about it the next time. So I thought being someone like them, they'd understand me better because I'm a child and they're also a child. So I felt like it was easier to reach them than teachers reaching them, because they're most likely to listen to me than the teacher who was going to tell them about it.
When you have cancer in the family, it affects like all of you. It affects everyone, psychologically, financially. So people need a lot of support. What Faraja is doing is very important, because some of us didn't have that opportunity, like to have someone you can talk to your challenges or to share. Sometimes cancer patients call me and ask me questions that I might answer them, but with the organizations like Faraja, with professionals, they can give more support to them than I can. So mostly cancer patients depend on other cancer patients to get experiences, to share what they are going through, which, okay, it's okay, but still you don't get the professional advice which Faraja is giving.
The experience has been very good. I can say it is very satisfying, because I've also personally learned a lot about, the complementary therapies that we offer here. Like, for example, before I came here, I didn't know there is something we call Reiki, which is a Japanese technique where people get to have that relaxation. And we also have transformational breathing, where I tried. And the complementary therapies are so good, and you can even try them back at home. Families need to know, they need to understand their sick family member, rather the patient, whether they want to talk about the sickness or not. They should be able to understand that. If a patient, because you have sometimes patients who don't want to talk about cancer because maybe it will be triggering them, try as much as you can not to talk about it, and as much as you can also try to understand when your patient, rather your family member who is sick of cancer, wants to talk about something about the cancer, try to listen. And every time, sometimes you find that the cancer patients, they're lashing out. They're very angry and they're sad. So you have to understand that it's not about them, and it's not about you they're lashing at. They're lashing at, or rather they are trying to lashing at the sickness and not you. So it is very important to understand the patients in our daily lives.
My advice to those going through the same is to be strong for your children. Don't like break down in front of them. Try to encourage them. There is hope. For those who donate for cancer patients, please continue doing it, because it helps a lot. Missing a session of chemo will cost someone's life. Cancer is aggressive. If you don't get treatment on time, it becomes now useless. So when you can, please support.
I wish I got to know about Faraja, because then I'd have undergone therapy and it would have saved me a lot of my mental health. And with you donating money, you can help save a child's life and their mental health at the same time. And this is why I think you should support Faraja.
Faraja is such a good home for cancer patients and their families. So if it is possible for you to, donate anything, including your time, this is the place for you to come. And don't shy away from coming to our place. We are located at Parklands, Shivachi Road, next to MP Shah. Our doors are always open and we're ready to receive you. And we have excellent therapists who are open to receive every patient, regardless of who you are and also your age. Because at Faraja, you also experience, we get to have patients who are very small, of small age, ranging from even 1 year and such notes. Yes, so don't hesitate to donate to us, because you also want to continue helping cancer patients through their treatment, which is very expensive. And also they need complementary therapies, which are offered for free here. So they need the complementary therapies for their treatment and also as part of their healing process.
Whatever you're going through, maybe now, or anyone in your family who's undergoing it, use your voice, amplify it, speak out and get help. Touch a life and save the world.